Look like I'm giving this ice cream cone a blowjob. Hey everybody, I'm back. It's Scott Gold. And I'm gonna do something that's gonna look a little ridiculous. First of all, I have this ice cream cone from a place called Rainbow Cone. And I'm gonna go through a drive-through like already with dessert. But it was because you have to go in and order the ice cream, and then it's like two separate businesses. And I'm going to this place called Buona beef, which is Italian beef, a Chicago thing here. So I'll explain it all in a minute. Let me order. As it drips already. I haven't tasted this yet or ever had it.
Thank you for taking photo. What do you have a taste for?
Can I have the cheesy cheddar beef
Okay.
with giardiniera
Okay.
and a cheese fries?
All right.
That's all.
So cheesy cheddar 7-inch beef with hot giardiniera and the cheese fries. That is $13.69. Are you a rewards member?
No, I'm not. I didn't know
Alright.
there was a rewards.
Go ahead and pull forward to the window then.
Okay. I don't know what a rewards thing is, and neither did she particularly care to explain. So now, okay, it's dripping already. Hey. This is gonna look bad because I was just in there. They're probably thinking, "What the hell are you doing?" Eating that. Should I try to hide it when I go up to the window? So let's start our mukbang with dessert, shall we? Because this thing is never going to make it through, and we're going to have dessert first today. So this is Rainbow Cone, original Rainbow Cone. It was a Chicago South Side like institution. Everybody and their mom like evidently grew up going there. We never did, but anytime I wanted to, like it looked like the crowds were just off the chain, and I don't deal with lines. So finally they came to the suburbs and they had a truck, like a food truck. And I think during COVID they were trying to branch out because they couldn't, hold on. Because they couldn't have their store open, so they were trying to skirt the law by having a truck. So they finally came to the suburbs, and I read about it somewhere like online, and I was gonna try it, but like I said, it was wrapped around the building. Hello.
I have a house salad with grilled chicken, extra dressing, and then a crispy chicken salad, no olives, no tomato, with grilled chicken.
No, I had cheesy beef and cheese fries.
Okay, that'll be $13.69.
Okay. I'm gonna be wearing this by the time I'm done. It's already all over my pants. Oh, thank you. Can I get a bunch of napkins?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. There. Maybe I should just wear this as a bib. I honestly didn't know if I would like this, and I still am not sure.
You can just go ahead and pull forward. We'll bring it out to you.
Great. Thank you. I didn't know if I would like this because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 different flavors. And I just had, it was some kind of a nut. So I don't know what this is, orange sherbet on the top. It's nice looking, right? Although it's kind of drippy. I'm gonna close this one down. It's really warm here today. It's almost 70, oh my God, 69 degrees. I ordered a small. So I guess this is what they're known for, is this you know, multiple different kinds of ice cream in a cone. So I really don't really like cones. I wanted it in a dish, but I was like, I guess I have to try what they're known for. And I don't even see any dishes. They only had like this, and I guess maybe you could get the individual flavors separately, but they just had it all in one like container that they scooped it all out at once. So what do you call that, like spumante or something? When you had, you remember that, where you would get it at the grocery store and it would be like, it would usually be one flavor at least that I didn't like. It would be like chocolate, vanilla, and hello.
Beef and cheddar, regular fried and cheese cup.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, let's find a place to park. This isn't going to be easy unless this person moves up. Okay, good. Sorry, I'm a little irritated today. I'll tell you about it. First, we have to find a place to park where the sun is not shining in my face. And I was trying to take a picture for like a little thumbnail, and I saw something funny here. There's in the same parking lot here in this little, strip mall, there's a Jewel grocery store, a Chuck E. Cheese, and a World Star Nail and Spa. And that made me laugh because I thought, online you see World Star when some fool like punches somebody in the face or, some outrageous thing, and then, oh, I'm gonna park here because it'll block the sun. And then they're like, the idiots that are cheering them on are like, World Star, which is a website that has all those videos that they post of like, kids at school beating each other up and pulling their hair and stuff like that. So, but imagine having a hair salon or a nail salon called World Star. You're just asking for a problem. I can only imagine. No, this is okay. This concoction. I kind of feel like I don't necessarily ever need to order that again. So I'm gonna just kind of eat it fast so that I can get rid of it. It's fine. It's good, No, I wouldn't order this though. If I went to a regular ice cream store, I would never order something like that. So I guess it's a good reason I never took the trip to their original location, because it kind of would have felt like a bust. And I'm sorry, I don't normally want to be like sucking on an ice cream cone on camera. Tried to come here when they had the truck, because it was only on, it was like once a month or something, and then they advertised it on Facebook. And this was the only location that they came to in the beginning. And now then they started going to a couple of other Buona beef locations, and now they've added within the Buona beef. I think they ripped the whole entire Buona beef store down, completely redid it to have a rainbow cone in there. But I wanted to go through the drive-thru. The reason why I did this separately was because I wanted to go through the drive-thru, but you couldn't order the rainbow cone on the drive-thru. So you had to go in, get the cone, and then I was gonna wait in line to get the food, but I'm not gonna stand there waiting in line with an ice cream cone. So, yeah, I don't know how this will last. There was one other person ordering the ice cream cone when I went in there. So, I think the thrill of trying something new was the attraction and the novelty of it. Well, I looked up the original one in Chicago, and it looks like it's been around since like the 1940s or something. So I think there's probably a lot of nostalgia surrounding it, and people just like, oh, we have to take our kids there because, you know, we went there when we were young, and, you know, grandparents and things like that. And it's, you know, it's like still in the original style of the like 40s or 50s. So I'm sure that adds to the charm. And on the, you know how it is on a hot day when you go by an ice cream store and now everyone is there. I just went to the vape store, and that was really, it's this place called Wise Guys Vapes. And I don't know, I feel very uncomfortable every time I go in there. The people are kind of weird that work there. The shopping center itself has a lot of, I don't know, kind of like seedy businesses. So it attracts weird clientele, I guess. And this guy was yelling at me. I have no idea what he was even saying. Like, I got out of the car, I was looking for my bottle of the empty vape stuff so that I could get the right one, because whenever I ask, they always try to like give me something that's wrong, the wrong one or the wrong strength or the whatever. So I was like, I'll just bring in the bottle of the empty one. So then they sold me this one, and when I got to the car, I noticed like it's already open or like torn. So it's like, why is it like that? And I don't know if there's a seal in it. It makes me a little nervous. I mean, I don't know. What could they do to it, I suppose? I mean, God knows what chemicals are in here to begin with. So could it be much worse? But should I trust it? It was like $20 for this bottle. So, I tried a different one that was like blueberry, and I just want to get rid of this now. It wasn't really very good, so looks like I'm giving this ice cream cone a blowjob. And so I went back to this one, and then I finished that bottle. So just stick with what works, you know. And I don't really know, and they don't really explain anything, and I just want to kind of get out of there, because there's other ones that are like, well, do you want salt ones? And I don't know, what's the damn difference? Like, does it taste any different? I mean, is that more damaging? So I just will stick with the one that I already have. How about that? Now this is probably going to be a mess too. No, there's no garbage can, so. All right, well, I'm gonna do laundry tonight. Let's get rid of that. We're done with that. And all right, let me sanitize my hands first of all. That's the first rule of a mukbang. So it's funny because you go to the vape place, and that Wise Guys Vapes is not that great, but then the like dispensary store is for like marijuana vape and stuff like that is called Cannabis, and that one is like the complete opposite. You go there and it's like walking into a bank, And you have to, there's a security guard at the front door. You have to show your ID. And then you're welcomed into the lobby area where they have it set up like bank tellers. And it's, you know, they're sitting there. Again, they want to check your ID, and then they scan your ID. And I think that's all that they do. And then you go, and it's like all beautiful, and it's, you know, all marble and stuff like that. And so you go in there, and then they have like 6 or 7 different tellers, I don't know, you know, cashiers, whatever it is, and you go to an open line, and then you can order your whatever you're gonna have. So usually, you know, I mean, like, how do you pick? You know, it's kind of difficult to know what you want. And apparently, though, I saw the last time they had online that you could purchase it ahead online, and then just like pick it up. But I was kind of interested in, because, you know, I have like the pen ones that are disposable, and then, you know, just the regular balance or whatever. And so I bought a bunch of stuff, but I wanted to get one that was like a regular vape that was for cannabis, because they say, well, they're 2 different things, like they're not interchangeable. You can't just buy stuff to put in this one for that. Okay, good to know. So I had questions about it, and the guy was just like, what do you not, you know, want? He was real rude, and that wasn't the experience I'd had there before. Usually the people, you could like talk to them and ask them questions, and so I didn't get that, but I just got the disposable one. I'm kind of putting all my business out here, aren't I? So I got cheese fries. You may have heard. I think I ordered this while you were here listening. So cheese fries, and then, which looks cheesy and yummy, right? Will be like the dashboard diner here. And put it on the dashboard. The fries look good. I have not been here. I normally go to a different Italian beef place. Let's give that a try. This is gonna be a mess. I just know it. I haven't eaten anything all day except a little snack. Actually, it was I did a video for one of those boxes that you can order with snacks from different countries. I have the video on my channel. I forget what the thing is called. Somebody gave me the box. And it's a subscription thing that you can do, and every month or for however long you order it, they send you a different box with various snacks. And the one that I was given was Poland. But my friend, she subscribes to it all the time. She's the one that gave me this particular box, and she showed me, I think it's called Universal Yums. I definitely have a video on my channel here if you want to check it out, trying all these different Polish snacks. But the Universal Yums one, she sent me a picture. This month's was from Russia. It was like, wow, that might have been a misstep. Now, I'm sure they order this stuff and have to do that long in advance, so I'm sure they didn't know. But honestly, I probably would have, if I was the decision maker at Universal Yums, I probably would have just done something else. Not sent this month's, canceled. I don't know. Seems pretty weird. Okay, here's the Italian beef sandwich. Let me show you. Get it in the screen. That would be helpful. And it's supposed to be a cheese Italian beef with giardiniera. They look to be pretty skimpy on the cheese. I mean, I think I see 2 shreds here. Of course, that was extra. So let's dig in, shall we? That bite was a lot of bread and pretty much no meat. But the giardiniera is very spicy already. Okay, I got some of the meat. That was very good. I normally get Italian beef sandwiches from Portillo's, which is, you know, the Chicago original. And I really enjoy them, but they are always packed. It doesn't matter what time of the day you go there. The line, they have the drive-through, and the line is always, you know, 20 cars deep. They always have workers out there. You don't even go to the speaker. You just pull up and then somebody comes to the car because they've got so many cars and multiple lanes and they're trying to move you through it. But you'll probably spend, I think we were there last Thursday and it was 25 minutes in the drive-through lane. And this place has been around forever, you know, since the 40s or something, or it's just that popular. I mean, it's very good. It's, you know, it's pricey for what you get, for sure. I don't know, how much was this? $13.69 for a sandwich and cheese fries. Prices are going up. But you would definitely pay that, probably a lot more at Portillo's, and you'd sit online for 20 minutes at least. There's just almost never a time that you go there and it's not crowded. Now, I heard that they were going to be expanding. Now, they already had expanded, because, you know, I believe that these Italian beef sandwiches are really a Chicago thing. I mean, outside of here, I don't believe that they're particularly well known. Like, I know when people that, well, in different areas, that's not something that they have. So Portillo's was a family business that started as like a little stand, and then they opened all these different locations, and then they became filthy rich. And but it was always just a metropolitan Chicago thing. Well, actually, we have a family friend who was this, I don't know what his first name is, but Mr. Portillo. She was his right-hand person in his business, and worked for years and years and years, and finally retired, I think, a few years back. But and I think that the original owner passed away a while back, and it was like the family was just rubbing their hands together waiting for him to die, because they immediately sold it and it's now traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So of course they're gonna be, and they already have been, opening up locations other places, and that's great and everything. I mean, they began with a lot of places that were places that Chicago people moved to, like South Florida or Arizona, places like that where they have already a following and people are looking for that when they move there. So they had already done that, in like Las Vegas, maybe, places like that. And then now that they're traded on the New York Stock Exchange, they're just gonna start opening them up everywhere, and that's good for other people. But it kind of like, it almost like cheapens it in a way, because it's like, you like something that is, you know, from your hometown and that you only can get when you're there. It makes it like more special. When people come to visit, you're like, oh, we have to go. You know, I have friends that used to live in Pittsburgh, I think, and every time they came back here to visit family and stuff like that, it was like, we have to go to Portillo's, you know? And it's like there's the Chicago, you know, pizza places too that are strictly Chicago. Even a lot of those are branching out. So I don't know if Buona beef, Buona beef is what it's called. If they're in other places too now. This is pretty spicy, actually. I don't know. I mean, obviously the giardiniera. That's another thing. Like, a lot of places, people don't know what giardiniera is. These condiments that, I don't know, they're kind of like pickled different things. Peppers and maybe that's celery. I don't know, but it's very spicy. And you can find that when you're, you know, you can find that all over here and in local grocery stores and stuff like that. But when you go out of the metropolitan area of Chicago, they don't know what that is. If you go, you know, sometimes I'm at my parents' lake house in Wisconsin, and you can't find that in the grocery stores. Now, I don't know if there's other places where there's, you know, heavy populations of Italians, you know, maybe that's different in New York and stuff like that. Maybe they have it. The other thing is Polish food. You know, Chicago has the largest population of people of Polish descent outside of Warsaw, Poland. So it's you know, tons of people that are of Polish descent. And of course, you know, people immigrated here from Poland up through, you know, the 70s. And then the political climate changed, and they no longer necessarily, you know, when it was not like communist anymore, there was no longer the need. And then especially when it was easier to work in other countries nearby, you know, people would go to France, or they were immigrating to other, you know, European countries because they could still easily be able to get back to Poland for probably visiting family and just, you know, being near their home country. But there are towns here, you know, there's areas of Chicago that were, you know, just very, very, very heavily Polish, and a lot of them, some still exist for sure, but the demographics have changed. You know, there's the immigrants that are now make up the primary immigrant group that's still coming here, of course, Mexicans, and we have a huge Mexican population. So a lot of the families that have, you know, become American and everything, you know, a lot of them have relocated to the suburbs, and, you know, years ago. And so there are towns now that are like just very heavy Polish descent. And one of my coworkers is from Poland, and he lives in one of them. And, you know, there's churches there that are like Catholic churches that will have the masses in Polish, and it's like amazing how many of the residents there are from Poland. So you can find really good Polish food here. And there is stuff that you can find like in the grocery store. Like, for instance, there's these, well, okay, the other group is a lot of people that are what you call from Bohemian descent, which is modern day, well, it was Czechoslovakia. After that, now it's Czech Republic and Slovakia. So there's a lot of food and things that you can find, especially like at the grocery store, like the frozen section and stuff, that we take for granted. You know, there's these bread dumplings that we always had. Like if you had this certain kind of roast when I was growing up, we would have that. We'd always have these bread dumplings with gravy. And you take that for granted, and then you go anywhere, you know, outside of, they've never heard of that. They certainly don't have them in the grocery store, because I guess there's just no population for it or demand for it. And so, are there any large ethnic groups from wherever you're from? Or foods that you enjoy that are from a ethnic group, either your own or just because you happen to live in the area that has a lot of people of that descent? Put it in the comments. In Milwaukee, excuse me, it's a very heavy German population, so I'm sure that they probably have a lot of German foods, and we know that they must have a large Polish community as well. This is very messy, because there's a Polish festival or something like that my coworker had told me about going to, and that was in Milwaukee. Now, we're going to be having St. Patrick's Day here in a couple, well, actually tomorrow, Thursday, St. Patrick's Day. That's the other very big nationality, Irish, in Chicago. So Chicago has 2 St. Patrick's Day parades, at festivities, whatever you want to call it. Now, it was canceled at least the last year, maybe more than that. Well, probably just 2020. But they did bring it back. And now Chicago is famous for its downtown St. Patrick's celebration, because they dye the Chicago River green. And, I mean, it is like a deep electric green, super artificial looking, but it's just the Chicago tradition. It's what they're known for. They've been doing it forever, and as far as I know, I don't think any other city does that. But we have, you know, the lake and the river, so they have an opportunity there to do that. And then there's parades and big drinking, you know, weekend, I guess, at the bars and things like that, which I don't particularly enjoy. Big throngs of people, and especially like big throngs of like drunk people. I don't know, it's not my style. But I remember once going, and I said never again. First of all, any of the bar, everything was like outrageously expensive, of course, you know. Well, you knew that. But the bars were so incredibly crowded. It was like shoulder to shoulder. And what fun is that? You know, you can't even talk to the people you're with without screaming in their face. And it's like, what, we're just here to be like seen or something? I don't know. It's just, it's not, I didn't enjoy it. But there's nowhere to sit, obviously, with that many people. So people were so desperate to find a seat. Forgive me for saying this while I'm eating. I hope you're not, because someone had vomited all over a table and I guess left. And when we went in there were people there that were so desperate for a table, they were sitting there anyways. And I was just like, that's it. I'm gone. I'm not doing this. No. Mm-mm. That is filthy and disgusting and wow. So, you know, go to see the parade and that kind of a thing. But if you're looking for the that, you know, drinking scene after that, if you like that sort of thing, that's really like really rowdy and stuff, maybe you like it. And I'm sure there's other places that aren't like maybe that trashy, but not my style. So they also have, or had, the South Side Irish Parade. And the South Side of Chicago, where the particular parade is on Western Avenue, was noted for its Irish population. And there's a lot of city workers, firefighters, paramedics, police officers that live there in that area. And it was kind of a safe enclave on the South Side, which there are not all that many, so it sort of attracted this particular segment of the population. And so there would be this South Side Irish Parade that had gone on forever. And it began, I guess, as just like a little neighborhood type thing, like outside taverns and stuff like that. And then as, you know, and I think it started like many, many, many decades ago. And then, you know, it had such a following that people would come from all over. Now, that one was known as the rowdy one. I never went, but I heard lots of stories. Now, because it was in a neighborhood and not, you know, in the downtown or whatever, so there wasn't a lot of places to go. I mean, I don't know if like just people would drink on the street, probably, or they would just go to all these bars. Maybe they had like tents or something to serve like big throngs of people. So they would the people would get like incredibly drunk, from what I heard. So much so that they would just, you know, this is like a neighborhood, so it's like just houses, you know, bungalows, like one after, you know, a foot apart. There's nowhere to go to the bathroom. So people would just whip it out and just start taking a pee in people's, you know, lawns, which were the size of a postage stamp. You know, I mean, these are very urban, you know, houses. And they would just be taking a pee. Women, I won't call them ladies. They would just, you know, drop their pants and pee in people's bushes, while people, the residents, were horrified, because they would literally show it on the news like afterwards, and like they would do, sometimes you'd see like a news story of the damage done in the aftermath of the Southside Irish Parade, and people's bushes would be completely dead. It was like, you know, if somebody has a big dog and they let it, you know, pee on their grass, and, you know, the big brown spots like all over where the grass dies, these bushes would turn brown and just die from being inundated with people peeing all over them in the grass and stuff like that. Not my scene. So smart, innovative people started renting porta potties and putting them in their front lawns and charging, you know, standing there and charging to use them. So they actually, it's been a while. I think they might have said it was already 10 years that they had finally had enough. Like they said, this is just too rowdy. The people that were attracted, you know, to the area were just, I don't know, brought it a real bad name. So they finally canceled it and stopped doing it. So there was always talk about bringing it back, but finally this year they did. But they made some changes, and that was one of them was they put it on Sunday instead of Saturday. I'm sure with the intention that, you know, people would have to work the next day, so maybe they wouldn't get so completely drunk. And I haven't really heard how that worked out. But if they want to keep it going, they definitely, we're going to have to behave a little bit more civilized, because I'm sure if it was a disaster again this year, they would just cancel it and not do it anymore. So, and it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal to the city, because, you know, I don't think it was that big of a moneymaker. It wasn't like attracting, you know, million people to the downtown where then they're going to patronize the various, you know, business and stuff like that. They probably figure, what do we care if, you know, this is a big moneymaker for 15 taverns and things like that. If it's creating a big, huge nightmare for law enforcement and residents, then they're not going to keep that. So anyways, that's that. Thanks for joining me on this mukbang of rainbow cone and Buona, the original Italian beef. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's not too late. If you have, welcome to the family. I love you for watching.